What's up, YouTube fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sins here. Today I've got a fantastic lineup of, you've got those certain number of fragrances in your collection. If you have those, if you don't, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to show you those fragrances that are perfect for every scenario, every kind of weather, every kind of situation. When these fragrances were produced, they were meant to maximize every single cent of your hard-earned dollar, so that when you purchase this, you know you're paying for an excellent product and you can use it in any number of situations. Yes, I'm talking about fragrances that are a 10 out of 10, that are that perfect score in terms of performance, longevity, hyper versatility. So when we return, we're going to feature 10 fragrances that are a perfect 10 out of 10. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm featuring 10 fragrances that are a perfect 10 out of 10 on the sliding scale of performance, presentation, overall fragrance presentation, smell, and versatility. So today I'm featuring these 10 fragrances to kind of give you an idea of what's out there in the realm of what I feel personally as a reviewer and as a consumer like yourself that you can best spend your money on, because every single cent that you've earned, let's face it, has been hard earned through hard labor, hard work, whether it's mental or physical or a combination of the two. So let's jump right into our list today. The very first fragrance I would like to target as what I think is a 10 out of 10 that rates a perfect score in my book is a very controversial fragrance. I feel like Christian Dior's SAUVAGE ELIXIR is a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. Now this might surprise you, but I'm not a super fan of SAUVAGE itself as a fragrance. It is a well-performing fragrance. It's got a great longevity, definitely got great projection, but there's no denying the quality of ELIXIR. If you've had a chance to smell ELIXIR, of course it is one of the more expensive of the line of SAUVAGE fragrances, but I don't even consider it SAUVAGE myself, just because I don't feel like it fits in that realm or category. Now I do get hints of the DNA of SAUVAGE, but it's a vastly different, darker, richer, extremely lavender, pine and lavender experience. It's a combination of, you've got coumarin, you've got ambroxan, you've got provincial lavender, you've got licorice, there's patchouli, very rich sourced patchouli. All of them are masterfully blended, last an extremely long time. Even though it's a galvanizing fragrance, I still feel it rates a 10 out of 10 in my book. SAUVAGE ELIXIR by Christian Dior. Another fragrance that's proven that it is to me, a perfect 10 out of 10 is the latest rendition or the latest version of a very popular fragrance by Versace, and that is Versace EROS PARFUM. Now, whether you're a fan of EROS or not a fan of EROS, or whether this is the first introduction to the world of EROS, back in the day, EROS was more of a youthful clubbing fragrance, as it were. It's still kind of a clubbing fragrance, but it's evolved quite a bit in the latest version to a cool weather version of EROS, just because of the density of the vanilla and the fragrance notes in here work so well in cooler weather. But I think it is in the evolution of EROS as a fragrance, this is the epitome of what EROS represents, and that's why I feel it is a perfect 10 out of 10 in my book, Versace EROS PARFUM. The next fragrance I feel is a perfect 10 out of 10 is another evolved fragrance. It's the latest rendition of this particular fragrance in the line of Y fragrances by Yves Saint Laurent. It is Y Le Parfum. Y Le Parfum is just a masterful blend. While I've always been a fan of the Y DNA and Y Live, Y Eau Fraiche, and the Eau de Parfum of Y, I still feel like the Le Parfum version is the best, simply because it's a little bit mature. It's taken that sweet, youthful vibe and it's kind of even broadened the hyper versatility of the scent profile. And I think that makes it even more accessible, an already accessible fragrance made even more accessible and even more versatile. And that's why I feel it rates a 10 out of 10. Y Le Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. This next fragrance will come as no surprise. Really, none of these fragrances will be a surprise that it really shouldn't be, hopefully, that they're a perfect 10 out of 10. This one has been on the market for a very long time. It is a flanker of an original, very popular fragrance by Giorgio Armani. It is Acqua di Gio Profondo. Profondo and Profondo Lights, which is the latest rendition of Profondo, latest flanker, are also very neck and neck in my book. Profondo Lights just has a lot more pink pepper, and it's just a really enjoyable version of Profondo. But I still keep going back to Profondo on the shelf as just being the best aquatic for all seasons. It's got that naturally dark, dense, rich sourced patchouli in here as well that you can immediately smell and tell is just so well done. And it's just an overall amazing scent profile with, again, extreme hyper versatility, both in summer and in slightly cooler weather. And that's why Acqua di Gio Profondo rates a 10 out of 10 in my book. This next perfect 10 out of 10 fragrance has not been on the market for a super long time, but already it's proven itself. It is backing up a DNA or scent profile that's been out there for a while by Givenchy, which is the Givenchy Gentleman line of fragrances, which are very iris-centered or iris-centric, and this one cleans it up and refines it even more. It is Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense, the intense version. I really like this. Iris as a note is just a fantastic note for a man's fragrance. It's even though it's a floral note, there's something supremely masculine about it when it's very well done, and it's extremely well done. This has a combination of the blue iris, it's got coumarin, it's got cypress, cedar. It opens with a nice fresh cardamom, a fresh spicy basil. It's just a wonderfully projecting fragrance. This one I really do enjoy the longevity of. I wear it 8 hours later, I still kind of smell it. My wife loves this fragrance on me. It's just one of those, again, extremely versatile, both warm and cooler weather. Love the blue iris in this, and that's why to me it rates a perfect 10 out of 10. Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense. I know I keep going back to this word evolution, but it just fits so perfectly when you're talking about a fragrance that's in a line of fragrances that have been produced over the years, and then it's the latest version or iteration of that. It's just got so much spit, shine, and polish. They've been able to kind of tweak the formula to the degree that it's the finite version. A lot of companies aren't successful at doing that, but these ones that I'm showing you or featuring today, I feel are very successful in doing that. And no less successful is Emporio Armani with the Stronger With You line of fragrances, with the latest version, Stronger With You. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's such a great word because it encapsulates what's great about this. Went back to the OG formula and added the glazed chestnuts that were in the original. They used more bourbon vanilla, added some rum, some sweet sticky fixative in the elemi resins, extremely resinous, extremely projecting, sweet gourmand fragrance, one of the best if you like sweet gourmand fragrances. You can't go wrong with Stronger With You, absolutely, and that's why it rates a 10 out of 10 in my book. Another fragrance that features the wonderful note of iris in such a great way, along with black leather, is a fragrance that I feel is a very refined, perfect for the upscale, going downtown kind of scenario or situation, and that is Valentino Uomo Intense. Again, if you're looking for a very iris forward, very sharp iris, along with black leather in the background, pushing that forward, you can't go wrong. It's just a more intense version of the original as a flanker. You also have a couple of beans in here giving this some sweetness. You've got tonka bean, you've got vanilla bean giving some smooth creaminess, and this is one of the more smooth irises out there on the market for men that is still extremely masculine, and that's why it rates a 10 out of 10 in my book. Valentino Uomo Intense. Still sticking with the iris theme, and yes, I absolutely love iris, the note in men's fragrance. Again, when done right, and there aren't a ton of fragrances out there that I feel that do right by the note of iris, but this one has a history of using iris right. It's been called the laundry fresh fragrance. It's been called many things actually, but fantastic is definitely what I call it. A perfect 10 out of 10 is Prada L'Homme Intense. Unfortunately, I believe this one is going to be or has been discontinued. So if you don't have a bottle, now would be the time to grab one up. What a fantastic rendition of the Prada L'Homme DNA. If you want something that projects like a beast and that lasts all day, but still has a very soft, subtle message that is very consistent, perfect for any occasion, any scenario, and that's why it's a 10 out of 10 in my book, Prada L'Homme Intense. Not to beat a dead horse, but yes, this next fragrance also has a very sharp, intrinsic iris fragrant note in it. In fact, it's known as a very iris kind of a makeup-y kind of iris. Some people don't like that. I absolutely love it in this fragrance. It's from Christian Dior. It is Dior Homme. I've rated this 10 out of 10 in videos past, but I just wanted to do it today to let you know that it still maintains, despite all these other fragrances coming out, still maintains that position as an exceptional fragrance, definitely worth the money that you pay for it. Lasts an extremely long time, great performance, great versatility in its usage, but again, you gotta love iris because that's what it's focusing on. Christian Dior's Dior Homme Intense. Our final 10 out of 10 fragrance that I feel rates a perfect 10 is a fragrance by Issey Miyake. It is very hard to find during the cooler weather because it's such an exceptional cold weather fragrance. It is Pulse of the Night by Issey Miyake, and I about dropped that. It is in the unusual bottle style, very thin, very interesting, very tall. I actually love the bottle style, but the fragrance itself is bar none. If you like dark, rich incense, kind of dry, semi-dry, but very slightly smoky incense-oriented fragrances, similar to maybe like Chopard's Black Incense Malachi, you'll really enjoy Issey Miyake's NUIT Pulse of the Night. Pulse of the Night is just one of those rare birds that literally is perfect to wear for upscale occasions and environments, but you can also kick back and wear it casually, and got kind of a sexy, mysterious side to it, while also maintaining a lightly casual, very nonchalantly masculine blend or style as well. It's just one of those very versatile fragrances, and that's, to me, again, why it rates a 10 out of 10. Issey Miyake's NUIT Pulse of the Night. Well guys, I hope at least some of these fragrances are also 10 out of 10s in your book. If you've got any experience with these, please let me know what that experience has been like or is like in the comments below. If you feel like I'm missing some perfect 10 out of 10 fragrances in this list, and there are very many out there, I definitely know I didn't cover them all, please let me know what your favorite 10 out of 10 fragrances are as well. Thanks so much though for stopping by, checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.